All right, I'm going to call this one Renter Nation. There was a recent article here somebody sent me. Could $5,600 rent be just around the corner? Now, this article was from Concordia University, and they used an artificial intelligence model to model where these rents are going to go. They say that the average two-bedroom in Toronto will be $5,600 a month within the next decade. They also say that in order to materially bring down rents in these markets, you would need to see approximately 10 times as many housing completions. So I can already see the comments on the channel here. Fear of missing out, FOMO. I'm trying to pump up the market and scare you guys into buying a home. That's not what I'm trying to do. You shouldn't be scared. You should, however, be concerned. You should be putting together a plan, a savings plan, saving up your RSPs. You should be talking to a mortgage professional and kind of getting the ball rolling here on how you're going to get into this market, because the rents in these cities are going to absolutely skyrocket. I remember in about 2009, I looked at a one-bedroom unit, concrete condo in Yaletown. Wasn't particularly nice, didn't have in-suite laundry. Decent one bedroom though, and they wanted $900 a month plus utilities. And I remember thinking that was quite a high price. Of course, now that same unit is going to run close to $2,200 a month all day. You want something newer in more of a luxury building, say in Falls Creek Olympic Village where I live, you can easily pay $2,200 all the way up to $2,700, $2,800. I've seen some one bedrooms, luxury one bedrooms, with parking, with storage, great layout, exposure, pushing $3,000 a month rent here. Pretty crazy. I remember thinking the price for on a one bedroom must have been plateauing around that $2,000 a month mark. It did for a little while, and then it just kept going on a roll here. And in Canada, believe it or not, statistically, we actually have fairly high rates of homeownership compared to our peers. I expect that to decline over time. More people are going to rent and lease their homes, and less are going to buy. So, and I've documented this. The last few years, I've been talking about how the only condos that are getting built going forward in downtown and surrounding neighborhoods would be these ultra luxury. The Butterfly would be a good example, or that Alberni by Kengo Kuma. There was the pre-sale in Pacific by Grosvenor, beautiful building. As I recall, they were selling these in pre-sale, $800,000 for a studio unit without parking, 1.1 to 1.2 million for a full one bedroom with parking. I was telling you guys those are the prices. That's the prices that these developers have to charge in order to make the project pencil, the pro forma work. Now, what's changed there is obviously that is a very rarefied atmosphere. That's a very niche kind of buyer who can afford over $1 million for a one bedroom. And for that reason, they weren't building a lot of these. Now it's shifted back towards these purpose-built rental. There's not a lot of stratified condos in the pipeline because they're too expensive. Instead, we're seeing more of these purpose-built rentals and these leasehold developments that our current premier, David Eby, is a huge supporter, proponent of this. Leasehold, 99-year lease. Of course, then with this housing plan here, basically, it's similar to the Singapore model. Basically, it's the government retains ownership of the land and you're just leasing it. So you're not benefiting on the appreciation over time because you don't own the land. So it's a very socialist type model here, but that is the way these projects are moving. But yes, Renter Nation, that's the way I see things going. Maybe not across the board, maybe in some rural area, somewhere in Winnipeg, maybe prices will be more sort of correlated to median or blue collar incomes, and people will still be able to buy and own their homes freehold. But I think when we're talking about Vancouver and Toronto, when we're talking about our urban centers, Montreal as well, they are going to just become prohibitively expensive. People will not really own in these markets. They're not going to own freehold condos. They're going to be leasing from the government on a 99-year lease, or they're going to be in one of these purpose-built rentals. And so, like I've been saying, the window on home ownership, on actually buying a condo freehold, that is really going to be closing here now, in my opinion. I'm Jay Coupar. Feel free to comment below or subscribe if you want an assessment on your property value. Click that green icon above, and I'll see you in the next video.